Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I guess you should be able to hear me now. Sorry, nobody heard my music, and maybe that's kind of like explains it. So, let's start over again. Good morning, my kittens. I hope everybody is doing really well. So, we are starting today with fire. And so fire is the first element, and then we are going to do the sub elements, sub signs of fire right after that, so we can see. Okay, and this just like looks like few of us over here, and you're the only one talking. So hopefully everybody kind of just stops by and says hi. So, as I was saying to myself, and for some reason, you know, when you have kittens, they unplug a whole bunch of stuff. I started with apologizing for the last time. I didn't have the electricity until later in the afternoon, so, so be it. You have to go with the flow, kind of like it happens. So, as I was saying here, it opened with a grace, which is the temperance. And since we are reading fire, it clearly shows me that there is like something going on here. Sagittarians are really dealing with their own issues, especially if they're dealing with water signs. In particular, if that water sign is a Scorpio, because I have two indications, Pluto and a Scorpio itself. But look at this major arcana, grace, the floating cat, High Priestess reversed, the death, judgment, which is a karma card, and the devil. It kind of like gave me goosebumps when I have seen this, my dear fire. And I don't know, for some reason it just like keeps coming earth to me. So there's like something about being grounded. There's like something that you really need to hear, like that message. So look at that. It's kind of like Kitty is walking on the environment which no cat wants to be caught on, especially not Siamese cats. They're like very much into worship of their beauty and making sure that every hair is in a place and that kind of sort of things, right? She is completely not even interested in the other elements, the rainbow that is being created from this kind of like phenomena, right? And then we see that she is looking at the other cat that is actually winking basically at us, and it's kind of like looking in a kind of like this direction. So this is really interesting to me because it shows that there is some kind of transformation going forward with you guys. And there's like also going to be some pain. You're going to try to connect with something deep inside of you, but it's going to be really hard. It's almost like feels like that you need to bury that King of Cups. There's like somebody who you really felt is special, and boy, do I not like King of Cups when he reverses. Yes, Andy, that will apply to your Sagittarius moon here clearly, and there is like also your Scorpionic kind of thing here. It's really interesting. The King of Cups is upright, I would say, ideal partner. Like, I mean, of course, if you like that strong, silent type, right? But this is the supportive type. This is somebody who is there for you, not only to take the garbage out, but emotionally, which is basically the true glue that kind of like puts the relationship together, right? But King of Cups, when he reverses, he is almost like a pest. He kind of like, you know, that alien movie just like grabs you and sucks the life out of you, and that's it. You have no freaking choice than just be kind of like wasted. So this person drains your energy. Is he a narcissist? I don't know. He could be clearly, but or he or she, right? But what is with this person? This person is just about them, and they might even present themselves to you. Of course I will be there with you. There's going to be lots of talk, but it's not going to really follow through with this, and that is what's going to be very very interesting here to observe. And you're going to feel kind of like being let down, or that could be somebody really close, like a family, who you think would be there for you, would be that rock, would be that soft place to fall. But it's just going to turn out, nope, I'm busy, and it's going to really come to you in a way that you're not going to be able to really comprehend what is really going on. So Nine of Wands reversed is also very interesting, because Nine of Wands is interesting card even when it is up. So you have to keep in mind that like all these nines and like this 20, this is kind of like coming toward completion, where this is like sort of like these two are sort of like the beginning. So you're being fire, you want everything done, you want lots of things done. So fire is generally not feeling great during the month of February, unless you're Sagittarius. Sagittarius doesn't mind it as much, but Leo, being the opposite of Leo, can feel very tired and fatigued, and Aries is just feeling their energy is not where it should be, but they actually also could be way better than Leo, but still it's almost like it's ramping up, if you wish, right? So Nine of Wands, when it's in the upright situation, it talks about tenacity. It talks about staying true to your goal, kind of like going in a certain direction, kind of like wanting to do something, right? And when it reverses, it's almost like feeling, I don't know, depleted. Oh, okay, you win. You know, like that situations when like just somebody is like talking your ear out, and that could be this freaking King of Cups over here, just being so pestering, so kind of like doing. So be very careful with this in March, because March is that turnaround month in this year. It's a big shift of Saturn in the sky, going from Aquarius to Pisces right now. Thank God. Off you go, Pisces, you can have it. Oh my gosh, this is like one thing, like it lasts a long time, 2-3 years. And I really have to tell you, I personally hate it. Sure, it does give you hard lessons about you, about your environment, but why would I want a hard lesson if I can lie down on a beach, kind of a thing, right? Of course. So Pisces, it's your time for hard lessons. But look at that, that's Nine of Wands reversed, and then you have the Devil right after that, which basically tells me you're going to be really tempted, like you're going to be, oh, whatever. So almost like feels like you have been working very hard on something. There are going to be lots of emotional triggers. In these emotional triggers, you're going to feel, you know what, whatever. Like whatever you have been doing right, you're going to somehow just decide not to do it. Carol, can you hear me now? Creative Guru, can you hear me? Let me just check one more time. Maybe you started from the beginning. Yeah, my microphone is on right now. My apologies. Just click a little bit later. 4 minutes later. Just let me put it. Sound is on now. Just wait. So that way you don't feel that we have total breakdown of technology. Like I have to blame it on my kittens, and I think Onyx must be the one. He likes to know how things work. It's really bizarre. He's opening the shower door that is like one of those, you know, pull kind of like left and right. He's mesmerized, and then he goes and steps on his rear feet, and he's kind of trying to push it back and right. I've ever seen it kind of like before. So my dear fire, even though you are entering March very balanced, very soon your world is going to upside down. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to feel being somehow bottomed out or pitted out, and somebody is going to pull the rug under your feet, and your role in all of that is just to observe, which is going to feel very impotent. It's going to feel, oh my goodness, kind of like, what am I doing here? And this is like some form of a burial, right? Like you are just coming to terms of something, and something just can't, you know, continue furthering things up. Yes, you're going to stray away from your path, but you know what, like nobody's perfect. So this means, you know that something is not good for you, you're going to do it anyway. But, you know, welcome to the human race, kind of a thing. It's almost like, in a sense, good, because this seems to be a really big month ahead of you. And it's almost like you're figuring out who your friends are and who are not. And this is a little bit painful to realize, but this is the Judgment card. Maybe, as I said, we all come to this planet to kind of like experience this karma, and then we are experiencing it. As I said, I would prefer to be on the beach, that like I'm feeling how Saturn is mistreating me, but here we are, kind of a thing, right? So that's what it is. So this reading right now, Creative Guru, is fire as a general one. So if you guys have any of the planets in the fire, this applies on you. But also, given that you're on live, absolutely everything can apply on you because you're giving me your energies and I am feeding on it. So now, guys, I'm going to start with fire signs. You can guess. There is the first guess. It's going to be, and where is the third one? Was also confiscated by the kitty. No, it's here. So you can guess one of the three fire signs, which are Aries, Leo, and Sag. So if you guess it, then you get your card at the end. So I did specifically prepare for it. So let's see what it is. Leo, Aries, or Sag, guys. I'm going to give it a few moments so you can throw in your hat. Hi, Devi. Are you going to kind of come? And let's go with this one, and then these two for the later. Where is Barbie? Like something must be going over. Hello, Jessica. Hello, yes, yes. You wanna be cuddly with fire? You're my little lioness. So what did we get? Look at that. Bravo, Andy. Bravo, bravo. Let me just mark you down. Andy is the first winner today. So Sagittarius, so it is. Let me just put this aside. Put Sag, your stamp over here. So let's see what additional information we have. Oh, you're Leo. Good, Carol. So we are going to see that. Saggies, we have Two of Swords, which we have Three of Swords. So I can see we have Three of Pentacles over here. And this one came through. Huh, interestingly, Nine of Cups. So should I get a few more? Okay, let's get a few more. Okay. This one wanted to talk to me, so we have the Hermit, which is really similar to this floating cat or thing. Thank you, Creative Guru. Barbie was telling me yesterday she's coming, so it's very unusual that something has happened. So this one is 8 and King of Rods and the Empress, and here we are. So let's see, you again have additional two major arcanas, my dear Saggies, which is, again, there are 2 9s. So now I'm seeing for you, clearly it's the end of process. It almost like feels to me that there's like some kind of like a divorce in question, because this card to me comes usually for married people who feel stuck, or somebody's feeling really stuck in a situation, such as, you know, I just want to break free, but things are not happening, or, you know, like you feel that somebody else is in charge of your destiny. That's what I'm saying. It usually comes to the people whose relationships are so weak that, you know, it's, you're kind of like being together for the wrong reasons, and yet you're lonely in that relationship. And maybe some of you will just have the quick flings. This is also Sagittarius. This could be just you, as I said. But you're really looking for somebody special. If you're a man, you're looking for this special woman. And if you're a woman, you're looking for somebody who has more emotional fabric inside. I really hope she doesn't have internet issues. She might have forgotten. Let me just ship her an email to see, because I'm starting to worry. Like, she's like so punctual. Everything is going on. Let me just see. Maybe she forgotten, Barbie. Where are you? We miss you. Okay, so let's see. I know it's all mistyped, like, I mean, but she's going to get it. That I'm sending her. Come on, Maud, but like Creative Guru, if you can take over until she comes, if she comes, I would really greatly appreciate it. So Sagittarians, it's going to be a mixed bag for you, but to kind of like continue on what we have seen for fire, again, like I'm seeing like also additional signs for you, possibly Virgo, possibly Libra, possibly Taurus. So I think now I know why this Earth was coming through. It was like something you're dealing, it's kind of like that grounding. This is a grounding card. And these two cards in this particular deck are the only cards that have this blindfold. It's very unusual for you to have blindfold because you're fast. You're like Speedy Gonzalez of horoscope. You're an Aries. There she is, Barbie. Hello. Everybody's missing you, me the most. So hello, hello, hello. So Barbie, we are doing fire, and we are reading the first sign, that is Sagittarius, and Andy guessed it. So I am just continuing with this. Good to see you. We thought that your internet doesn't work. So let's go further, guys. As I was saying, two blindfolded things, it's really difficult for you. You are not the person who is caving in. You are not the person who wants to kind of like not to face the problems, but you are just the person who is just turning a blind eye on something. So what are you guys doing? I don't know, are you helping yourself with alcohol? It just kind of like, I don't know, I'm getting this vision of the person being possibly unhappy at work and then coming home and taking a couple of glasses of wine, and that suits you kind of like down. But it just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating, and you want to break out of it. You're just feeling that the position where you're stuck, it's just weird because they're like really not people other than this one, and this one I feel it's you. You're dreaming. This almost like feels like a dreams, but it almost like feels a reality, that everything is turned inside. And Sagittarius is not necessarily introverted. Yes, of course they're introverted Sagittarians, but technically as a sign, you're the sign of expansion. This is why you belong to Jupiter, the biggest freaking planet of all, and it's just beautiful, gorgeous kind of a thing. So the Hermit and the Floating Cat both talk about this introversion. It almost like sense to me that you have to come to terms of something. Their ending is in the cards, but you don't want certain things to end, or you're like really accepting status quo. So once when you wake up and you get this like into this Nine of Rods kind of thing, who is like really goal oriented, and that you, almost like it feels to me that you are not satisfied with your life partner, and that life partner can be also quote unquote contract, so hence work. So one of these kind of like two big areas, which is kind of like marriage, right? You call it my work husband or my home husband, right? Because we spend so much time at work as well. So it is really important kind of like to understand that you need to break free. You need to take this blindfold and move forward, my dear Saggies. So there we go. There we go. Thank you, Barbie. Look at her when she takes over. She's amazing. Yeah, Barbie, I was telling them like microphone was pulled out as well, because the how I'm positioned here ahead of me is a big monitor, and the microphone is on the left, but the microphone has the big cord that goes down to my desktop, and I guess he likes to play with these things, and then you just need to lean on it and pull it down. So guys, quick guess, which one is the next one? You have Leo and Aries. Really simple guess. So let's see. And it says, if that applies, don't really drink very much or any substance. I come to terms with work and changing that. Yeah, kind of like, I used to like my glass of wine. Actually, this is the first New Year that I didn't care even about buying champagne, because I just realized I'm doing that because of the custom. Wine doesn't agree with my stomach anymore. I actually practically stopped drinking as well. So it's weird. So we have Aries, we have Leo there. Is anybody else going to throw in their hat? We have Aries again. So drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. And we have Barbie. Barbie is becoming a freaking reading monster, a psychic monster. So that will be Barbie here on the list. We have Andy and Barbie. And Leo it is. So let's see, Leo, what do we have for you? Leo. Just very few of us, but that's a nice intimate atmosphere, isn't it? So we have Three of Cups reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, the Tower reversed. Yuck. Ouch, ouch, ouch. As I said, you didn't hear me saying, usually this time of the year is a little bit under the weather for you fire signs. So I can see here in your reading, Leo, and I was specifically saying Leo for you is the worst because you feel completely depleted of energy. Hello, mother. Hello? Do you love everybody? Huh? How much? That much? Do you love Barbie? Do you love Andy? Not so much? creative guru? No, Barbie, you are just the only one that is special. Sorry, ladies. Safi has spoken. Let me see what else I get here. And this one. This one. Look at that. You're also getting the Knight of Rods. Again, there's like something about couplehood, and you know, this Knight of Rods, as I said, like I'm in Sagittarius reading, it could be a whole bunch of quick flings, you know, one night stands, friends with benefits, kind of like a situation that is really happening over there, right? So what do we have here? You also have additional two major arcanas, which is really kind of like reinforcing everything here. But this Queen of Pentacles worries me a little bit, especially if this is you. Maybe feeling unsettled with the state of affairs in your home, with the friendships, let's say. Because this is generally a lovely card for me. Like it usually, it's not technically correct, but I usually denote it as Aquarius, just like because it's a friend kind of like driven, just like a Knight of Pentacles, which also should be Earth, but I think I see this very strong kind of like bones over there. And look at her. She is not being a friend, but the friends are not being a friend. So kind of like it's a mutual thing. It's weird. It almost like feels like there's like some kind of like understanding that maybe you have outgrown a certain crowd, but then this Tower reverse showed up, which basically says, okay, you really didn't get it. You're not getting something. So it's very important to kind of like really think about it over here. As the Tower reverse talks about, you are not really, it could be depression, that you're not really rebuilding kind of a thing. But it's not a good thing, because Tower basically, like you have this, you have the Devil. It's kind of like three warnings. So this is 13, this is 15, and this is like 16. So the first warning is, dude or a girl or a lady, you need to let certain things go. So this is the warning number one. Warning number two, okay, you really want to taste it again. So like, for example, if you're in a relationship, you finish the relationship, but you still come back for the second helping kind of a thing. That's what I said. You know what? Nobody's perfect. Go there and just do that. And this one is, that's it. I'm not letting you go forward. And hi, Safi again. Hi. Do you like Creative Guru? There you go. You got it now. And then she left. I didn't have the time to ask more questions at this stage anymore, right? So the Tower, like, I mean, I can talk about Tower for the whole freaking day, and that's why I'm trying to, because I noticed that my daily readings are getting longer and longer and longer, and I'm kind of like saying to myself, I have to keep it under 3 minutes, not 7, not 10, kind of like stuff, right? So this kind of like turmoil and destruction that we see here, which kind of like usually bringing change when this is upright, right, is kind of like indicating that we are kind of like delaying this process. We are dragging our feet. We just don't want it. Like it's like going a child going to a dentist. No, I don't want it. Or a dog going to a vet, kind of a thing, right? So we need to go through this difficult time in order to kind of like learn an important lesson. So kind of like don't resist it, right? So this is like something shocking. This is something hard to deal with. You're really feeling kind of like down, right? But you consciously, I can see it here, you consciously want change. You have like this judgment card over here, right? But you seem to be afraid of it at the same time. So this is a big change. The judgment is here and this is here. It's a big change in a store for you guys. Something is turning around big freaking time, right? If you don't do it, look at how much you're fighting it. It's almost like you need to take a step back. You need to claim yourself, because this Sun is you. It almost like feels to me there's some kind of relationship where you now are inferior, where you should actually position yourself as an equal partner or superior, and that is really important here to understand, right? Even though I really have to say, because this is a little bit reversed, with combining with the Sun, I would say maybe something is going to be less impactful. That would be because you're just simply resistant to this change too much to be able to open yourself to this new vision and to these new opportunities, kind of a thing, right? So Leos, like, I mean, this shows me that you're kind of like fighting your battle, like you're winning some, but you're landing on the same foot where you should kind of like claim your power. So do not feel like, ugh, meek. Don't feel, who cares? Because almost like tells me you have accepted certain situation which shouldn't, which basically is not something that you want. So you need to question yourself, why are you doing that? And it's really, really important. So guess what? I'm guessing the last card. Can you guess it what it is? I think it's Aries. Aries, you're coming next. So let's shuffle for Aries over here. Let me just put the stamp for you here. Aries. Yes, Creative Guru, she did finally realize that she was rude. Aries. 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 All right, Aries. Give us additional thoughts about stuff in your, oh my gosh, look at that, you're getting the Tower reversed. You're also getting a Page of Rods, which is you. Oh, then we have a King of Cups. Oh my god, like, you look at you in Leo. There's like something going on here. My brother is Aries with Leo ascendant, so something is there cooking. Also Page of Pentacles are those kind of like children and friends and children, something. It's kind of like really feeling like reversal. So Aries, make sure you listen to Leo as well, because they have similar combination of things. You also have the trees, and this is a tree, this is a tree, this is a tree that I'm seeing. So trees are basically that master unity. Trees are creativity. Trees are moving on. Trees are kind of like continuing in some kind of like new directions. But this is a little bit worrisome. Well, this is a mixed bag with you. Let's put it this way. So there's like something off. And look at this. All the pages are looking two different directions. It almost like feels like that something is pulling you down. And this one is much harder, much heavier. Let's put it this way. This one is fast, and he's almost like a feather, because when things are moving, it's much easier to handle them, right, or hold them. Where this one is like, feel like a stone around your neck, and he's the one, you see, that is looking at this one and basically stalling that progress. Who is this King of Cups? Because it came here reversed and now came it upright. So maybe you managed to turn a certain person around, or it's weird, because this could be the same person here, or I don't know, this could be your partner and two children here as well that can be seen that way. But the Tower here as well for you showed up and said, you know what, you're off. You are not allowing certain progress to take place, because again, 1, 2, 3 warnings. This is the last warning. Actually, this is the fourth one. That's it's not even a warning. This is happening. I'm rendering my judgment. Just think about this, that you have to go in the court and you're going one thing after another after another. At one point, this is the last hearing. I'm going to render my judgment. And this is like why I had goosebumps when I saw that, because it's something monumental that will be happening. You guys didn't get two major arcanas, you got one, but nonetheless you got the one that is very very powerful. Tower reversed, it's problematic because with Tower reversed, Tower upright would happen in a way that we hate it. Nobody likes Tower upright. It's a shocking thing. You have a flat tire and then you think, okay, not a big deal, I'm going to fix flat tire, and you realize the whole freaking bottom of your car is falling apart and this becomes much bigger. But luckily, this is now addressed, because otherwise you would just lose your life. So that's where Tower shows, even though it's really horrible, there's like some change happening and can be rebuilt to something that is not going to be harmful to you. When Tower reverses, as I said, right, while you realize that certain things need to change, you're really doing nothing to do it, because you're lulling yourself possibly in some kind of like relationship. You're depending on something, but it almost looks like this could be you, that this actually could be you, that you have. Who is this? Who is this? That's a Jasper girl. Jasper. It's very hard to tell these three black cats that I have around here, right? you're afraid of discomfort here. There's like something that you feel that you need to kind of like, the stakes are very high. You kind of like, you don't want to risk it, it's just the change is about to enter your life. But the thing is, like, there's like no intuitive sense. With Tower, generally we have, because this is a Mars principle, it's also Scorpio. So look at that, we have a Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. There is like something so heavily leaning on you that is like beyond comprehension, that is kind of like really seen over here, right? So again, make sure that you are not resisting change. Make sure that you're not losing on new opportunities. There's like something that you are not able to see. And why? It's weird. I don't see these blindfolded kind of characters here, but you are just simply blocked. But keep in mind, these three, look at this, one is up, one is down, right? And this one is kind of like up, but it's kind of reversed down. So what I would say for you guys, given that you don't have all these major arcanas, when the major arcanas are there, you just need to go through it. There's like not much point. These are the rules, you gotta do it, right? So for you, as you kind of like have the room to wiggle, I would just say that you need to find some emotional center over here, and you need to kind of like land on your feet, and that is going to be more important than anything else. However, in the process, you're going to be dragged down by almost everybody, almost like it's going to feel like that only you are standing, and that's going to be very frustrating, and you're going to not really feel very accomplished. But as I said, don't really look at it that way. Just kind of like take one step at a time, and that is what is going to be important. Look at that, we are already having the guesses, and of course now we have Earth coming up next. We have Earth. So before I start Earth, I'm going to draw this like two ladies cards. So let me just tuck this away. This here. And I think I probably mixed in here one of those, what they have these clarifier cards in here, but we'll see. Let's do this. So first one was Andy, and the second one was Barbie. Let's get you before I go forward. So that's Andy getting a reading, not one card. And look at that. Whatever it is, maybe I grabbed it the wrong way, but I just want to show you. There are like lots of upward cards, but it just looked like, you see that I grabbed it in a really weird way. So this is still a card of victory. This is better when it's reversed. This is karma card, not a great. You're removing some kind of like blindfolds off. And again, it's a little bit of lack of energy that I'm seeing over here, because look at this fire and fire. There's like something going on that is telling you, okay, find a motivation, find things to do it, remove this blindfold. When it's reversed, you're seeing certain things. And then certain things are still trigger points, nostalgia from the past. This one is the only one that really worries me, because when Wheel of Fortune reverses, it just looks like we are on a downturn, that we have to work extra hard for things to kind of like happen to us, right? But then again, this too shall pass, and this is really telling you maybe need to hit some spot where you kind of like reach this decision. But look at this, like it's 6, 10, and then 10, right? And then we have 8, 2. Like, I mean, so what I'm trying to say goes up and down. Like, it's going to be very next period, I think, for the next 2 weeks, because next week I'm taking it off. It's going to be a little bit an up and down period. And with this, just that maybe it can be downturn, but it's not going to be there forever. That's all there is, right? So that's it. Creative Guru said, sometimes this type of reading from me comes up when I'm not following my own desires. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Like, we are not living authentic life. We are being people pleasers, especially women, right? All right, let's see, Barbie. Every woman does it. And like the older you get, actually, I still say I'm not going to do it, and I still do it. And I say to myself, why did I do that? I just offer somebody to stay at my place, and I said, now I have to clean the whole house. What? did I do that? I could have stayed in a hotel. I could have saved myself. It's just like it comes out of me and you cannot really fix it. So Barbie, the devil, Barbie. Are you indulging something? You're still celebrating Valentine's. Admit it. You're celebrating Valentine's. There is like clearly indulgence. Be careful with your finances. Something may be leaking out of your hands, or something can cost you something, because generally this card is like moving ahead, moving toward your goal, and this is something being distracted. So if diet is your goal, eating lots of candies is not going to help going kind of like toward your goal. I know quite a bit about that, but that's kind of like can apply to anything else. So just keep this in mind, guys. All right, so you guys already threw in your hat for what it is. So but for Earth, just please, if Barbie, can you remember, because I need to start with Earth general reading first before we go into the signs, right? So let me just do this. Let's see, Earth, you're being last. Oh, what did I do here? I don't know which one it is. Okay, Earth. Oh, Andy, you're planning to leave? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? Like, I mean, the older we are, if you're not happy at our work, you know, we need to scoot. And I found that, like, I mean, I just don't jeopardize anymore. Like, if people are just negative, or like, it's best to leave, right? So Earth. Too much chocolate. Oh, I like this chocolate covered almonds. This is like my do you guys know what is Bulk Barn? We have it in Canada, and apparently when people come here, they're like mesmerized with the store. You just go there and you have like all this food in bulk, almond chocolates in a big freaking bucket, right? So it's hilarious, right? Look at that. We have the High Priestess and Ace of Sky. This is, by the way, a karma card. Oh, we have a, I don't know, like this Sky Kitten, but it just came to me like Sexy Kitten. That's what I call Safi. She's my sexy cat. And kind of like she always likes when I call her that way. So let's see more for Earth. Earth, so far so good. So you're intuitive and you're applying it. You're almost like your Chat GPT. You kind of like have this power to analyze, and then you kind of like render stuff. And look at that. This is almost the same card. Just like this would be more like a processes. This would be people, kind of a thing. What is it called again? Sorry, tell me. Look at that. We have the Ace of Swords, but we have a Three of Swords. I don't know. Please tell me the full question. What did I say? And then we have the Knave of Wands. So this is really interesting. When I become unhappy at work, I find another job. Yeah, but it's much easier, Barbie, in the USA. Like, it's not so easy everywhere. So we have to take this in account, that sometimes we overstay our welcome, right? So that could be problematic. So I'm going to put it here. Oh, chocolate. Yeah. Too much chocolate. Oh, yeah, so Bulk Barn. Bulk Barn, that's what you ask. It's called Bulk Barn, and if you Google it, it's just, so basically it's especially good for the environment. There's like not all this packaging, and you know how you get this like freaking big box of cereal, and you open it's like tiny little kind of like thing inside, right? So you don't have to throw it away, because in the province where I live, we are really big on environment. So going in there, chocolate covered pretzels. Oh, you can get everything from the soup stock to anything else, right? So if you guys come to Canada, I recommend doing that. Yeah, I think I was reading somewhere that a few Americans came here and said, oh my God, what is this? It's heaven, kind of a thing. So it is. Let's see. Sorry for the interruption, Earth, but maybe you need to get yourself something from a Bulk Barn, and kind of like some sweets or something of a sort. So you have a 8 of Wands and 4 of Wands. Interesting. This is almost like a second floor and the first floor over here. 8 of Wands. Look at this, rescuing a kitten, but generally I see it as a completely different kind of like a meaning than this. Okay, let's get one more. It's going to be 2 more. Look at this freaking wands. Wands, 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 wands. It's almost like, so this is a page of wands, this is a page of wands. So almost like it could be some kind of like a family of a sort, or extended family, because we have the two queens. The Hierophant is very much Taurus. Taurus, you're really stepping in. I don't know if you guys are dealing with water signs or fire signs, because this is coming through very much. So look at this. Like, so we have a double here and we have a double here. So this is clearly reinforcing the message, right? That we have coming through. You also have like the Three of Swords. I don't know who this was. Was it Sagittarius? Or no, it was, I think, fire. As a general, they had a Three of Swords as well. But this is really of interest to me, all of these wands, right? So you are earth. So the fire scorches earth, right? So there's like something that you are kind of like going out. It could be looking a mate for a mate. It could be like, this is you guys. You're feeling comfort. You're feeling accomplished. You are sending or receiving lovey-dovey messages. There is like, I mean, success, like two swords, two ace of swords, not one, but two. And this is a karma card. This is like that victory. This is like you have accomplished. It's also swift and fast. So you can expect something in the very beginning of the month, first and second. I don't even know when this falls. So first is middle of the week, Wednesday. You can expect something really big happening. This is kind of like very, very similar, right? So it could be messages from a person. It's kind of weird because something that is making you happy is also going to make you sad. So what this could be, what can make us both happy and sad at the same time? And this is not combining with the Six of Cups, that I would say it's kind of like some memories or something. Who knows? But I do see here, so this is like some old wound is maybe opening up, or this could work like that somebody is asking some questions that are prying out some, I guess, forgotten pain. Actually, that could work, even though that could be very annoying when people ask questions that they shouldn't be asking. I was like going for a walk, and this woman saw me walking with Tiger, and I think, was it Christmas? Yeah, it was Christmas. So she heard my accent. She said, "Oh, Merry Christmas," and Merry Christmas, you say it to everybody that you pass by. Did you have a good Christmas? Yeah, quiet, I don't have my family here. But I'm saying this with a big smile, kind of like, don't ask anymore. And then she goes, because it was really hard for me losing my mother and also having this huge issues with my brother. So I didn't really want to talk about it, especially not with a complete stranger. She's there with her husband. She goes, and then she goes and draws this conclusion. And she says, "Oh, did lots of people die for you in Ukraine?" And so she guessed I was Ukrainian. So, "Oh, no, I'm not Ukrainian." Although no, before she said, "So good for you that you have chose this country. Do you love it here?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely love it here. I was born here." She just looked at me. "Oh, how come you have an accent?" Well, it was back and forth kind of a thing for me. So she goes, "Oh, and look at you, and it's a good thing that you kind of like decided to finally come here, and you even got yourself a dog." And like was like laughing to myself. I said, "Jesus Christ, like, you people, you shouldn't be asking certain questions." And that's kind of like looks here that maybe somebody's probing or prying. "Oh, look, it is Chris showed up. Hello, Chris, how are you doing?" You're like, he has like something, like he has like psychic abilities fine-tuned. Look how he knew when he has to show up. That's amazing. So that's kind of like what it is. So something is going on over here. So my dear Earth, as I said, you are going to be schmoozing. This could even mean meeting somebody who you're very, very serious about, or you're going to become very dedicated to religion, something like that. But also is going to be some kind of flop. You might meet somebody who actually maybe has a child or two, and they're kind of impossible, and then you don't see yourself. Or you might turn into this Queen of Wands reversed, who is just dissatisfied with everything, looking in all directions, always feeling unaccomplished, and that's kind of a sort of thing. But do remember, my dear Earth, that we started with the Priestess, which talks about realizing that in quietness you get answers, that in quietness things come to you. Because whenever you're in the action mode, whenever you're like running, it's kind of like hard to kind of like come up with a strategy because you're already in the application mode as well. But you have a lots of that application mode here. This is fast, this is fast, this is fast, this is fast, this is super super fast, right? Except this kind of like somebody poking in you, it's going to be very enjoyable month. Even this person here who not might not work out, you're not going to feel very maybe this is the person you feel regretful, maybe that's going to put you a little bit down, but I really have to tell you that you're going to feel really confident in yourself, who you are. And even though if you're letting them go, it's not going to be, that difficult, because you're going to know who you are. It's difficult when you feel that part of you is missing with this person leaving, but you're going to realize that you're staying complete, if I can put it this way. So let's do it. Yeah. So let's go. So we had some guesses there, and you guys can still throw in your hat. So now we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that I'm going to add to it, and just see your individual, how they evolve into this. So here they are. And what did we have? I think I'm just going to back it up because you guys were fast. Capricorn, Barbie, and Andy had Taurus. So it's going to be, this one. Everybody much rather works with men. I know, it's so weird. I like women that can be very protective, but men, like, sometimes it's just too much. Last year when I worked with YW, it was just really so many incompetent women thinking they're like gods. It was just shocking. In the end, I just realized I'm a man around these women. I have to leave. So let's do this. You're already having something in mind. That's awesome. Okay, so nobody won. So we are starting with Virgo. So Virgo, let me put your stamp over here. You're opening up the first sign of Earth. So let's see. Virgo. So we have something did flick. I thought, no, it didn't. We have 9 of Wands reversed, which is, again, you have the wands of something, right? Ooh, so there is like something from the past. There is like maybe re-emergence from somebody over here, Virgo, some sense of familiarity, or maybe some sense of innocence. Maybe you're you're meeting somebody who doesn't want to jump your bones right away, something like that. I don't know. And that's maybe why the Hierophant is coming through. It just feels that everything is done. I don't know if I should say proper, because there's not such a thing as proper thing with dating. You have to figure out what works for you, not what should be, kind of a thing. But that's kind of like maybe how you're going to see it, right? So let me just see here. And we have the Moon. We have Knight of Pentacles reversed, and we have a 10 of Wands. And again, wands everywhere, right? So 10 of Wands is very similar to these like 2 pages of Wands that we have. So, and then you have a Knight of Cups. Okay, so let's go with this. I need to turn off this. Oh, no wonder I'm boiling. Like, why is my heat pump on 30? Jesus. I'm starting to sweat here. I'm saying, okay, it's not that warm outside. Why am I boiling here? Now I know. I guess I put it on a jet speed and I forgot to take it off. So, Virgo, the theme continues. There is like some kind of like, I would say, internal fight. You're culminating. There's like something culminating, because look at that. You have here the Queen of Pentacles, you have a Knight of Pentacles reversed, you have a reverse Queen of Wands. So it's just kind of like, almost like feels like switch, that you're in between something that so far you had and something that you need to have, and you're moving in this direction. You are no longer saying, well, you know what, I'm going to keep trying and keep trying. You're just kind of like drawing a line. The moon is basically saying you're still not having clarity about it. There are people still coming into your life, schmoozing you, but they are having secrets themselves, right? But almost like you're going to have some kind of like detector, and maybe that's going to be you, this Sky Kitten, going to just brazenly and tell them off, cut them off. Look, this doesn't work for me. Thank you, but no thank you, kind of a thing, right? It almost like feels to me like these are very secretive cards. These two, except this one, when it comes reversed, the secrets are coming to light, and that is kind of like very important. And also, this one is connecting to this one and this one, so we have 8, which is kind of like this lovey-dovey messages, and then this is it, you know, okay, we have been through it, and we keep repeating this cycle because there is like something that could be ongoing because of this card, right? But look at that, this lovely Knight of Cups shows up. So for you, it can be also kind of like up and down, like lots of things happening, being into this action mode, moving, but you're going to be very astute, let me put it that way, in kind of like weeding out all of these negativity and people who actually maybe did work for you back then but wouldn't work for you now. I have to tell you that my ex-husband, with whom I was 7 years, would not last probably 3 days these days. So this is how much I have gained through basically my own maturity. And when you live on your own, it kind of like even speeds up. I don't know, what do you guys think for you? So there is like something here lovely in the end that you're going to feel free, you're going to feel, and again, in addition to this Queen of Pentacles, who you are, and feeling that you're doing things in the highest possible kind of like way, then this Knight of Cups is kind of coming through. So it's kind of like you're not jeopardizing who you are, you're not being led off the path with the people with a whole bunch of promises, even if they're interesting, and you're waiting for this dude, and he shows up and he's here. This is like amazing kind of that it happens, right? So yeah, Andy, well, hot flushes are different. Hot flushes come right out of the gate, and they just like so sudden, and if somebody sets you on fire, it's just like freaking unbelievable, uncomfortable feeling. But this one was coming on, and I was like warm and continuously warm, but I was not profusely sweating, which I would with hot flushes. I just turn freaking liquid in a second. So guys, I really hope nobody has to deal with that. It's, for me, it's like almost 10 years that I'm dealing with. So uncomfortable. So Andy, I wonder if I have Virgo prominent on my chart. All right, we are going next. So the last two are Taurus and Capricorn. So, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Which were the cards? Oh, now I mixed them up. Oh my goodness. Okay, I will remember. Here it was. Okay, everybody, let's use your memory. Here it was the 8 of Wands, right? It was here. So by mistake, I took it before this. So I'll remember them all. 8 of Wands. Did they? Oh, here it is. This one has to go. It was 4 of Wands. It was 8 of Wands. Let me see. This is great, a great Alzheimer. It was the Hierophant. It was the Queen of Pentacles, if I remember. And because I mixed them up, so now it's kind of like sucks to put them together. So, and it was the naval ones over there. So I think managed to think of them all. So I did mix these kind of like cards as well. There was not a Hermit. It was not 10 of Swords, King of Pentacles. What, did I not mix them? Did I put them all together? So 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. Here we go. This was 8 of Wands here. And I guess I mixed it. So the 4 of Wands, and here it was the Queen of Pentacles, if I remember. Oh my gosh, I know, Andy, what you're talking about. So guys, do you think I guessed them all properly? What do you think? Returning the back. It's good. You know, like learning French is really helping me so much with memory, even though at my age it's kind of harder to memorize all these words. So where are you guys? Where are you? Queen of Pentacles was here, if I remember. So here, I think it was, that was not 9 of Wands, but I remember Knave of Wands. Was there anything else? That one, I'm turning blank. I thought it was just a Knave of Wands, but where it is? I cannot find this card for some reason. Where are you? Where are you, Knave of Wands? Which is the same as this one, so, but technically I still want to put it on the table. King of Swords. It's not page. Oh, it's not Knave of Wands. Was it a page? Yeah, it was the Page of Wands. No, it wasn't Page of Wands. Was it this one? I don't think so. I think... Anybody? Help! 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 I think it was the Knight of Wands then. Or something like that. So this one is... I'm turning blank, so I can only remember 4 numbers. How is that? How bad is that, right? But it is what it is. I'm turning old officially. You know, I'm doing this like for 6 years now. It will be just about Queen of Wands reverse. Yes, Queen of Wands reverse. Thank you. Somebody's brain is working. Thank you. Thank you. That's why it was. Because I remember saying now. Thank God somebody is having their act together. So where did she go? It's not Queen of Cups. Where did it go? This is so weird. Like I'm looking for this Knight of Wands and I cannot see it. So 9 of Wands. No. Queen of Wands. Where are you? 3 of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. 5 of Wands. Knight of Cups. And that was Queen. It's so weird. It almost like that disappeared and I just put it back in the thingy. Sun, Page of Swords, King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Unbelievable. A Page of Wands, was it last? Okay, so let's find this Queen of Wands that I cannot see anywhere. There she is. She was reversed. So let's do it this way, because I think it was Knight of Wands, but I cannot for the life of me. Maybe I dropped it somewhere, I guess, on the floor, but we are going to leave it and I know what it is. So, all right, let's go. My apologies for delay over here. So, which one did you guys say? You had Taurus, so you have a Capricorn. So I'm going to grab this one. It's good to be Capricorn. Capricorn going first. So let's go. Capricorn. So Capricorns, there was like a thing happening over here, and this was like, as you probably remember, I do make signs usually, but never did I pull the cards like that. So you might feel that somebody offers you something and somebody takes it away, and that would interpret this Queen of Wands kind of coming through, that somebody is leading you on, and but there is like stabilization coming in the end. And Page of Wands is really, really fast. Ace of Swords is really, really fast. So these are possibly only Chariot is missing to have the speed over here. So something is happening with a really great velocity over here. So you just kind of like, you need to be true to yourself. All right, so let's see who guessed it. Who guessed it? Andy. Thank you. So Andy again with a check mark here. So we have 5 of Wands, which is, again, it's some kind of like struggle, whether it's internal or with the other people. And there you have Ace of Pentacles, which I like. Ooh, this one was like, you should see it. It was going on like that everywhere. And then we having this like Knight of Pentacles here, which is like, it's Earth, it is you. And as I was saying, I kind of do see that as a friend principle, even though it's Earth, somebody you can rely upon. Because I think Capricorn is kind of like a sign that is always about achievement. They are like high achievers. They succeed in life. They always look polished, and they do bother kind of like combing their hair and putting themselves together even in their freaking 80s. I'm much younger and I don't bother kind of anymore. So here it tells me that even though they generally like they're called horn dog of the horoscope, right? Because they are represented with this devil and all these sexual deviations. I see here that you guys are totally, this is what I need, and I'm not going to jeopardize this. You're looking for the right and almost like very moral thing. Like Hierophant is the opposite of devil, kind of like in a sense, right? So let's just see it. Oh, he is somewhere in the background, probably listening. So we have the Hangman, but is reversed, and that's Wendy. And then oh, look at that. We have 1, 2, 3. You have also 3 additional majors over here, but unfortunately they're all reversed. So let's see what is this all about. So something for you Capricorn is starting. Oh, it's so cute, Chris. Something starting really well, even though there is like some kind of like argument. And I know I get letters from Chris and he calls me on certain things that I say, and I kind of like that about him, and he kind of like makes his point, right? So I can see something like that happening, hopefully not with me, but it is going on here where certain things are being set on properly. So there is like something that is going on long term, and Earth accepts this long term as normal, like to air signs or fire signs. Oh, you're telling me I have to go 4 years like university? It's exhausting, right? So just to think about it. But this is a little bit worrisome, but it's not something that that cannot be bridged. So the Hangman just simply means that you are just not willing or not ready to take any sacrifices. I think maybe you feel that you have done enough, because this is kind of like maybe for this other person you will need to sacrifice things, and you're saying, you know what, I just cannot do it, and understanding abilities and what you can do and we cannot do. So not even trying to go in a situation where you're making promises that cannot be fulfilled, right? So, or maybe you felt that you have already sacrificed, if you're in a relationship, great deal, and you're getting nothing in return. So hence it almost like feels like that certain situation at a standstill where maybe you would want it to move forward, right? So it's kind of like putting certain kind of like goals or dreams on hold. It's a little bit of a suspension. So when he reverses, he kind of like is not really anymore making a connection, and he's not doing it because he just doesn't think this is a good investment at this stage, right? So that's where it happens, right? So, and then the star kind of like additionally, star is like usually the message of hope, the message of growth, message kind of like moving forward, message of kind of like everything will be fine. But when she reverses, right, this is kind of like what's really generally she doesn't reverse. Like star should be always up, because if she reverses, it can be slight depression, it can be feeling that you are spiritually suffering. So this simply could be how you react with different people, because you are going to have all of these characters coming from the major earth reading, so don't forget seeing this, right? But you know, like that could be that it's reflecting a certain loss of faith in a situation, and you kind of like want to, you know, you're almost like waiting for a sign how to proceed further, and like that would make sense because the world is coming after, it's also reversed, right? So you know what, like why are you fighting it? Like you really want certain things to last, but everything is telling you it shouldn't, and it's not there for you. So there's like some reason, spiritual reason I would say, why you're doing it, and that would make sense. Almost like that you're staying out of let's say kindness, if I can put it this way, right? So the same thing, certain things cannot complete. The world is very important card. It's the sort of like, it's a circular, so I cannot say last, because right after goes full. So you cannot jump into the new level because this is not completed. You are kind of maybe trying to achieve something that results in success or completion, but you may be, you know, not taking all the steps necessary, and that's because of the doubt even in the process. So you need to kind of like backtrack and ask yourself, well, why did I build it? Because this is like beginning, it's a very kind of like small and slow build up, where this should be the ending, right? it's simply certain things are getting delayed and you're maybe experiencing lack of closure of some sort. So even though I really have to tell you, this is all going to be sort of like in the intermezzo. Lots of things will be happening, lots of things will be brewing, like lots of possibilities and flirting will be happening. But it's just like you want something to really work out so badly, but it just is not projected that way, right? So I don't see anything that could be. You're going to have internal struggles, right? So we see that happening. You're going to have a high intuition, but a low hope. How is that? So trust your intuition. That's all I can say. So if you don't have hope in something, find what are your core values. What is it you really care for, that this is like stopping you, and that's going to give you answers and allow you for this world to turn around, so you kind of like either turn the situation around or move on to the next flower. So that's what I hope to see this. So, Andy, I'm sacrificing to come ahead in life. Well, they say that people who can sacrifice, and no, they say, they actually made a study, delay study with kids. So, do you want a candy now or you want the whole bonbonniere tomorrow, kind of a thing, right? And 90% of kids wanted a candy right then. And they found that the kids who actually, I think I had a 20-year-old study, 20-year study, the kids who actually did realize that delayed gratification was acceptable were way more successful in life. So that's what has to happen. And Taurus, sugar comes last. So this would be you coming to the 4. So let's see. Let me put the stamp for you. And let's see. I was thinking, like, we were plummeted with the ice snow. I have never seen it in my life. Like, first of all, the snow before this ice snow was just like a glaze. You would, like a crest, you would walk and it would just make a freaking hole when you step on it, right? And then it melt. And then it started to snow, plummeted some ice snow. It was just freaking weird. It just like felt like Himalayan salt, those big chunks were falling from the sky. Just weird. So, my dear Taurus, let's see what we have here for you. So you have 8 of Wands. So this is like a double here. You have a Queen of Swords. Oof, these two queens are, well, all queens reversed are not fun to be. So this is literally the one who kind of like wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and is really harsh, like it starts the conversation with what do you want, kind of a thing. So just somebody who's setting the stage in a very harsh way. So that's, even though he's up and he's like not malicious and intentions are good to find out, but still it becomes inappropriate because it's probing and like you're asking for too much, but she purposely kind of like does it. She purposely pokes or says something really, really weird, right? So, Chris, I always have high intuition and low hope. Oh my God. Oh, I just want to give you a big hug. Oh, it's ridiculous, but it's also funny. Look at this, like you two Capricorns, right? Oh my goodness, I didn't know that about you. But maybe this is why you succeed. You kind of like don't feel that much let down if you have low hope. But hope is really nice to have. And I have lots of hope. I have lots of information too. And still kind of like it ends where it ends. So then we have the 7 of Cups. This is kind of like expectation of something and you're having big dreams. And look at this. We have yet another Ace of Swords for your Taurus. Oh. Not 1, but 2 more hiding here. 2 more. Holy moly. So, Taurus. Just like the last one in fire section, Aries, you don't have additional major arcana, which means it's going to be a little bit smoother sailing. Even though, look at this, the Ace of Swords have repeated, so we have them 3 now. So there's like a big sense of victory. So maybe something that starts, it's so weird, it's a mixed bag. Something starts really nice and flowy and flirty and going in a great direction, and it turns really sour. So somebody I don't know, like somebody's really harsh, and then you just get this realization that okay, I'm not going ahead with this. And this is you. This can be your card, the Hierophant here, the center. You're being yourself in this period of time, and you're starting to dream the new dreams, even though it's weird. You have like two queens. Do you have two people, two exes possibly in your life? Whether this is male or female, that could kind of like show this way, because look at this, like it's 2 on 1s, 3 on 1s. Again, we have a lots of fire, 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 and then again fire, 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 right? That is coming through. And so basically it's telling me that you're just becoming you just climb up. There's like some sense of climbing up, that you feel that either you cannot make your mind up. This is like a lack of decision. This is kind of dreaming in all kinds of directions but not reaching that point, and that can be very difficult to kind of like realize, right? So I kind of like see this happening here, because this dude with the Libra here, he's supposed to kind of like spread everything equally. But when he's reversing, like everything is falling apart. People are grabbing things, right, the way they want it. Just imagine dropping like the money from the sky. It's going to be a mayhem kind of a thing. But then you are pulling yourself together, like this Ace of Swords dominating this reading, coming as the last one. It means you go to full circle. You go from, I intuitively feel there is something wrong in the situation, to I'm doing this, and you're reaching your decision. So basically, I would say you're going to have a wishy-washy people coming through whole freaking month. And everybody will want something from you. Some of them will shower you with love, and you're going to be very suspicious of that. And you're going to be right to be suspicious, because when you probe them, they're going to turn on you and they're going to show you their true color. The mask comes off, right? This other Queen of Pentacles, so this one is more or less wants to win, where this Queen of Pentacles wants to take, right? When they kind of like reverse, right? So you are feeling almost like a little bit defensive, and also you have even a Queen of Wands over here in the general reading. So who we are missing? We are just missing Queen of Cups, and Queen of Cups is basically the one with true emotions, the one who really feels from the heart. And so that's what you're looking for, and that's why your cups are coming through over here, and you're saying, so when is this going to show up? Because you're just not seeing the direction with all of these wrong people. But you know what? You have to kiss X amount of frogs before you get to the prince or princess. So I guess this is just the part of like due process over here. That's all I would say over here. So Ace of Swords means you're cutting through it. Sword has the two blades on two sides. So it means not only are you cutting on the outside and all of these crap and all these people who actually shouldn't be there, but you're also kind of like finding certain things in you need to change in order to really excel. And that is very important to look at this way. Okay, guys, so now Andy gets her card, and then we do the doors. Can't believe it, I did it under 2 hours. The last time it was going on forever, but maybe I am just getting in a groove and it's getting easier. So now I can pick them up. And we have March, so I'm having my weekend off. We have the long, do you guys have a long weekend in the States? The President Day, is it now? We have something, I think it's called Family Day or something. So Monday we are not working, which is not much you can do when everything is iced out outside, but Tiger will enjoy it. Okay, Andy, you're going to get another card over here. Andy, you're getting the Hangman. So the Hangman is again what you're talking about, sacrifice. You're trying to see certain things from a different perspective. What is really interesting about the Hangman is that he is absolutely disagreeable with the situation he found himself in. But he put himself in a situation. Does that make sense? So he is saying, okay, I would never do things that way. Absolutely, I don't think this is going to work, but let me see it. Let me see how you would do it. So you're just basically going through exploration of learning, let's say, a different method in this, right? So he's kind of suspended in action. He's looking from a different standpoint. This is like also a period of indecision, kind of like that kind of talks about it, right? Certain things maybe need to be postponed, kind of like a thing. So it's almost like buying yourself some time and trying to monitor to be more strategic, right? It can mean feeling stuck in a sense, right? And that's kind of like where like you feel that you need to give up your control of the situation, right? So since work is really important to you, right? This is kind of really interesting because even though it feels like some kind of like repetition is happening, you're kind of like feeling that your work has very little value. It's not so much about people here, but also like your perception that I'm picking up over here. So if you're looking for work, it could mean that certain things is postponed or placed on hold, or there's some kind of delays of some sort, which I guess if the roads are iced, that could happen that way, right? So this is basically telling you that you need to somehow recognize the importance of sacrifice and also patience. But you're Capricorn, you have this in abundance, and that's why you guys succeed, right? This also can talk about person, somebody possibly who works in a volunteer organization or spend lots of time on a community project. So that's something that is going to be very important over there. Oh, you do have a President's Day on Monday. Okay, so you see. Making it rain is no problem. Women, not so much. All right, guys, the doors. Let's see the doors. And just think about the question that you have. I'm going to put the timestamp here for the doors. So let's do the doors. Think about this thing. I approach my relationships in a very naive way, and I'm always getting disappointed. And it's kind of like, oh, this is going to be so fun. And the tarot tells me it's not going to be. No, it's going to be fun, and it's not fun. It's just, I think maybe the older we get, the harder it is. It's so weird. But then you hear about these like stories that they publish on a Valentine's Day that are so adorable. But usually the stories go like they have a formula. Oh, we used to kind of like each other when we were in a kindergarten or in elementary school. And then, we went on. I went to this city. He went to this city. Then we lost our spouses. And now we connected on Facebook. And we are inseparable ever after. So I think something like that could happen. So let's see. So let's do it this way. So door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Something on the bottom. So guys, door number 1, we have 3 of Wands. This is a definite yes. You are not sure that you're going to get 100% return on something. You are definitely willing to try. You are definitely willing to invest. This is a positive. It's a vibrant kind of like thing, and especially really good for business and the beginning of something, right? That is really important. Now, the door number 2 is Ace of Pentacles. That's a no. That's something just cannot be built, not at this time. And like it would take a mountain to move in order to make a road, but it will be much easier to go around or find some other road. And this is kind of like what it is. Very, very careful with this, right? And the door number 3 is you should talk to your friends and get their advice about that. It's very positive, but you also need to get advice that is going to help you get there. So that is going to be the solution. So I really hope it works. It's kind of like really interesting that we have 2 trees as well. The trees are kind of like talking about that moving principle, action principle, and almost like that there is like a God's hand in all of that. If God, universe, whatever you kind of like consider. So there it is. So thank you, Andy, so much. It was really lovely talking to you next week. She was such a supportive. Oh, just call me if you need anything. And yeah, I didn't know if I'm going to freeze to death or not, but luckily the electricity did come back before that happened. So my dear kittens, I hope that you guys going to have next beautiful 2 weeks. And let me just look. I think that when we come back on the 4th of March, we are going to have Fan Appreciation Day again. Isn't this nice? And so then we have 11 and 18 readings. And maybe I can skip 25th so I can have 3 weeks out of 4. So there you go. So 1 week for you, 2 weeks for the readings, and we go with that. So there you go, guys. I hope you found some value in all of that. I appreciate you always. Thank you for being here where you could be anywhere else. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Love you all. All the best. Take care.